Sambit Patra, you know what, the BJP may have the men, the machine, the money, the muscle, the ministers, the Prime Minister. What you don't have is a face in West Bengal. You tried to bring Saurav Ganguly. That didn't go as per your plan. You know, you brought Mithun Chakravarti, who, because he's jumped ship as often as he have from extreme left, Naxal body, to now being on the right, meeting Mohan Bhagwatji. You know, you don't have a face. And could that, in the end, which is what hit you in Delhi, where you didn't have somebody to stand up against Arvind Kejriwal, could that be, in the end analysis, the BJP's Achilles heel in Bengal? Sambit Patra.
In fact, Rahul, similar questions were asked of us, the BJP spokespersons and other leaders, during the Uttar Pradesh election, if you would remember. That, look, we have stalwart leaders like Mayawati, you have stalwart leaders like, and experienced leaders like Mulayam and Akhilesh. But who is your leader? I mean, we had ad nauseum debates on this. But we won an whooping 325 seats, and thereafter we gave, in fact, a leader who became the Chief Minister, Mr. Yogi Adityanath, who is an exemplary leader now. Similar was the instance in Maharashtra. There was no projection of Mr. Fadnavis then. Similar was the case in Haryana, where we were asked, you know, as to who would be taking and squaring off Mr. Hooda, who is an experienced leader. But then we won. Remember, most of these elections are won because of policies, because of the failure of the previous government, and you project the face only after you win the election. So it does not matter. It does not matter whose face it is. It has to be the face of development, and people believe Modi ji, number one. Number two, remember, as far as these polls are concerned, the opinion polls are concerned, I had missed one point. In Bengal, it is chup chap komal chap, meaning people keep their views close to their chests. They do not want to reveal it as yet because they know the situation, the law and order situation of West Bengal. Only today there was firing by the TMC Karyakartas on the BJP Karyakartas. So of course people have kept most of their wishes close to their chest.
Rahul Verma, I want you to build on this because I have heard from sources inside the Trinamool Congress that one of the X factors that they're apprehensive about is the fear factor. That when their own pollsters or these independent third-party pollsters go out, voters typically in a state where there's a strong government and a fear of retribution tend to say they'll vote for the sitting government because they don't know who this person is, where he's come from, and whether the Trinamool or any of its associates will later come after them. Is there a way of being able to quantify or understand the fear factor? Because the Trinamool is very concerned about it and they think that this could be one of the things that goes against them if the fear factor indeed turns out to be very high.
Absolutely true. You would remember, Rahul, that even Pradeep Gupta has been telling us for now some time that he has found polling in Bengal very, very difficult. So given the political climate of Bengal, three things are very important. One, political change in Bengal has always accompanied some sort of like violence. Even when left came in 1970s or when Mamta came in 2011, and the new change, which might or might not happen, will have some sort of like, you know, violent intentions on the ground. So that is true. Second, and as Sambit Patra ji also pointed out, that for some time in 2019, the campaign had two elements. One was Chup Chap Kamal Chap, and the second one was Unni se half or Ikki se saaf. So people who are on the ground do report that Bengali voters are not willing to come out in open and say who they are likely to vote. And the third factor, which everyone knows about, especially in 2018 Panchayat election and Panchayat elections before that, Bengal is one of the states where you see most number of uncontested seats, which means that, you know, there are certain political parties and politicians who dominate elections in a way that you don't see any contest happening there. So there are, of course, methods to calculate fear factor, but given the paucity of data in our case, it's difficult.
No, but mark my words, fear factor is indeed a concern, and it's not just Sambit Patra saying it. Fear factor is a concern even amongst the think tank of the Trinamool Congress. They're concerned about the impact the fear factor could have on
Rahul, can I make one more point?
I'm out of time, but very quickly, 30 seconds, Rahul Verma, go for it.
Yeah, basically, you know, Bengal has been described by scholars as party society. In a society where political parties have deep penetration, They even decide who people are marrying and who are taking part in functions. And this started in time of left, continued in time of Trinamool Congress. So given penetration of parties is so deep, people are going to be fearful before voting to tell any pollster or journalist who they are.
I hear what you're saying, but what we don't know is the quantification of that fear factor. Is it just, say, 1 in 100 voters, 2 in 100 voters, 10 in 100 voters, 1500 voters? Because the more it is, the bigger a game changer it can be, which is what makes this election so exciting. So many moving parts, so many things that can still change, which is why Sambit Patra and Riju Datta and their parties need to work very hard. While we bring you the best reportage, the best analysis, the most non-partisan coverage, they need to work hard. We'll just sit back and let them do their jobs as we do ours to bring you the best coverage of the West Bengal elections, and may the best woman or man win. Khela hobe or khela khatm is something that only the voters of Bengal have to decide.